Hey, y'all, welcome to the back row. We're going to be going over some of the things I found in the book of Luke. That's my absolute favorite verse I've probably found in thus far that I've been going over. And I've been going over the New Testament. And I've made my way to John. And I found this verse and I absolutely freaking love it. I love it. And we're going to go over it. So this is John 8, starting at 42. It says, Jesus said to them, if God were your father, would you love me? For I have come here from God, and I have not come on my own. God sent me. Why is my language not clear to you? Because you are not unable to hear what I say. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and not holding the truth. Therefore, the truth is not in him. When he lies, he speaks from his native tongue. I lost where I was. When he's
45. No, wait,
When he
40.
lies, he speaks from his native tongue. He is a liar and the father of lies. Because I tell the truth, you do not believe in me. Can you, any of you, prove me guilty of sin? If I'm telling the truth, why don't you believe me? Whoever believes in God hears what God says, and the reason you do not hear what He is doing is because you do not belong to God.
That actually
That is
ties in really tightly to what we
ooh,
talked about the last episode or show, episode,
mm,
video. I don't know what we're calling these. Take off.
that's a good one. As I think God's saying here, no matter how much you profess with your mouth, you profess with your mind or whatever it is, you say that you believe in God, that you don't, you can't hear him. You truly don't have that soul and heart of believing. Therefore, you cannot hear him. And therefore, you still belong to the father of lies. You're still listening to Satan. You're still letting everything else in your mind cloud you from the belief that what is God. You cannot hear him. And God is trying to tell these people here because he's talking to the people that actually believed in him. He's talking to the Jews that believed in him at that time. He was speaking in his when he was walking around this earth and speaking to everybody that actually said they profess Jesus is God, Lord is God, God is God,
To, to,
everything.
to that, to that, Matthew 15:8 says, the people honor me. This people honor me
With
with their
their
lips, but
lips,
their hearts are far from me.
not do not, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. Sorry, go ahead.
he's just saying that he's like, y'all say you believe in me. You say you know I'm the true the risen Messiah. You know, you you really say with your mouth you feel this and you know this, but you do not in your heart of hearts believe that I am real. You don't. Therefore, you cannot heed and learn and know that what I am saying is true. You do not know that I'm God. Therefore, you cannot hear me. You cannot hear my words. You cannot feel my soul. You cannot feel anything that's in this Bible or anything I say because you think it's blasphemy to me because you don't understand it because you are still living in the flesh. You're still living in the world. You're still living in Satan and you cannot understand what I am saying. And that is so cool that he is literally sitting there like, listen, y'all, I told y'all this is what I am. This is what I came to do. This is what I am, y'all. And y'all can't even see it. Y'all seen what I did. You've seen these miracles I perform. You've seen all this stuff, but y'all still do not believe. What else is it going to take for you to actually believe me? What
On,
else is it going to take?
on, I know that we're going over this scripture, but I can't help it that I think of other scriptures to back up what we're talking about as we go. So I want to read this. This is a little bit lengthy, but this is Romans 1:18 and following. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking. And their foolish hearts were darkened, claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. And therefore God gave them up to their lusts of their hearts to impurity, dishonoring their bodies to dishonoring their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this reason, God gave them up to dishonorable passions, for the women exchanged natural relations for those that are contrary to nature, and the men likewise gave up natural relations with women and were consumed with passion for one another, men committing shameless acts with men and receiving in themselves a due penalty for their error. And since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, God gave them up to a debased mind to do what ought not to be done. They were filled with all manner of unrighteousness, evil, covetousness, malice. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, maliciousness. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God, insolent, haughty, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to their parents, foolish, faithless, heartless, ruthless. They know God's righteous decree that those who practice such things deserve to die. They not only do them, but they give approval to those who practice them. I didn't write that. Okay. So if you get your feelings hurt by that, take it up with that guy. That's exactly what you're talking about. You know, what Christ is sitting there telling us, it is the truth with a capital T, and people want to ignore it. People want to. I'm not ready to settle down. I still got stuff I want to do. I'll get to it later. You know, I'll settle down eventually, but people don't realize that eventually may never come. You know, um,
Your time could be up tomorrow,
yeah. I mean, a good example.
tonight.
The other day, what happened the other day with me? I could have died. I didn't, and I honestly don't think it was that serious, but eh, the possibility was there. And I'm gonna tell you what, this last 2 weeks, the devil's been hitting us hard. I wound up in the hospital. I was in the hospital for a few days. I get home, and like what, 14, 16 hours later, Rachel was wound up in the hospital. And then, the other thing that happened after that I guess we're not going to talk about. But
I had an episode.
yeah. So, and I know this is the third time that I've mentioned this in the last few weeks, but tomorrow is not promised. I cannot stress that to those of you watching enough. Tomorrow is not promised. You need to get right. You need to make yourself right with Christ. You need to understand the gravity of what he's trying to do for us and what he will do for us over and over and over and over again. He's not going to give up on you. You may have given up on yourself 100 times over,
A bunch
but
of times.
he's not going to give up on you. There's a great song by some guy. I can't. You probably know. I met Jesus in a bar. Who is that?
Mm,
Aaron.
Watson?
Yeah, Aaron.
No,
Aaron.
that's
Yeah,
not
you're
Watson.
you're right. You're right. It's Aaron Watson.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Great song. And some people may look at that as like a, how dare you talk about Jesus
Oh
in a
my
bar and
gosh, he
say
was
Jesus.
drinking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was in a bar.
Let me remind you,
Guess
Jesus
what?
turned
God
water into
comes to you no
wine.
matter where you're at.
Yeah. He's everywhere. That he doesn't live in a church, and that's something else I don't like is the fact that, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm gonna go to church on Sunday. You're going to a building. The church ain't a building. The, we are the
The
church.
people.
Believers are the church. And I'm not saying don't go to church, of course. I mean, if you want to, if you go to church, awesome, great, that's awesome. But don't. Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Don't go to a church because you feel like you should. Go to a church because you feel God there. I can't tell you how many churches I've attended and God wasn't there. I That kind of makes my tummy upset saying that, but that's the truth. I've been to so many churches where God wasn't there, and people only went there because they felt like it was something they needed to check off their list for the week. I went to church. I'm good. That's not the
Yeah.
case. And sorry, I hijacked your thing. Go ahead.
I don't know where I was going. I think the biggest take apart from this particular passage is
Speak about John.
it's saying, yeah, John, that if you literally still have the devil in your ear and you still literally follow the father of lies and all that stuff, you cannot hear God. And Jesus trying to tell these people that proclaimed and professed with their mouth as they were still followers of him and everything. He knew in their hearts because Jesus knew he knows everything. He knew that they did not know him from a perspective that they needed to know him, and he knew that there was lies in their heart, and they were still listening to what was not of him, and he knew that. It's like, therefore, you cannot hear me, you cannot see me, you cannot feel me, you cannot know what is to come. You don't know what was before, what is to come, because you cannot hear me. You cannot hear me if you are still following that doctrine, that path, that all these things. You cannot ever expect to hear me unless you actually want to follow me, pick up your cross, follow me, deny yourself, and all this stuff. You cannot. And Jesus telling them like plainly, like, dude, listen. I'm telling y'all straight up. This is what I'm saying. This is what's going to happen. This is what y'all are. Either y'all listen or don't. That's up to you. That's really up to you. But I'm telling you right now, you cannot hear me unless you actually want to follow me and do the things I say and actually freaking believe in me. And he's telling them that. And these are people that actually profess to believe in him. And there are so many people in this world that profess to believe in him, but they don't honestly believe in him. They're still listening to that father of lies and everything. They can't hear him.
You're stepping on
Therefore,
my
it's not
ideas
going to
here
happen.
because I was in the next couple of days I was going to do a video about it was going to be titled "Follow Christ, Not Christians." Because
Yeah. I don't even like the word Christian. I can't even stand the word Christian. I don't even
I
like labeling myself a Christian.
there you go. I don't like religion, and
I can't stand
a
it.
lot of you that just heard that are like, clutch your pearls.
Oh my God.
No, I don't like religion. Religion is a sham. It is. It really. What matters is the relationship with Christ. Because how many? Man, I don't want to get into this. Churches have become a business. Church buildings have become a business.
It's a business.
It's a business. It's a popularity contest. It's how much money can we get brought in. Uh, I'm not saying all churches, but no, I'm not. I'm not trying to. What's the word? I'm not trying to put down all churches because that's not the case. And you are frozen. Uh-oh. Okay.
I'm back.
All right. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. But we're back. So take it away.
I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about people not understanding the gift of salvation and how, well, actually, I went on a tangent about churches and being businesses and stuff like that. But anyway, go ahead.
People they don't understand. They really don't understand what the gift that is of God, and actually listening to him and hearing him and knowing that he is real and actually feeling it. They don't get it. Therefore, you can't hear him. You can't understand anything that's in the Bible. You can't understand anything he says. You can't understand any of it
Hmm.
because you're still living in that fleshly world because that's what you know, that's what you want, that's what you see, that's what you feel,
You got blinders on.
and you can't see anything past it. And Jesus is literally telling them all this in this parable. It's not even really a parable, honestly. In this one, he's like really speaking truth. This is not a parable.
Yeah.
He's speaking pretty plainly, but people don't get it. Mhm.
So
They don't understand that.
what's your final
Mm.
takeaway?
Mm. If you actually believe God is real and you actually believe He's real in your heart, then you're actually going to understand Him and want to follow Him and understand what's in this book and want to follow His commandments. Otherwise, you will actually belong to someone else.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so much
Mm.
easier to just roll with the world than it because you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna, y- to be honest, your life's gonna get flipped upside down. That's the truth. Whenever you make that change,
Mhm.
you actually make that change. Your life is gonna be flipped upside down, but in a good way. It may not seem that.
Royally.
Yeah,
Mm.
it may not seem that way at first. It may seem like, why is this happening to me? But no, no. Trust
for
the
a reason.
process. Yeah, trust the process. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, do we have anything else on this one, or do you want to call it?
That's about it, I guess.
All right. Well, all right, folks. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Well, you really won't see it because I'm gonna edit that out. But we
Mm.
will.
I have really bad internet.
Yeah, we're working on that. So we're gonna do another one here soon. We're gonna try to do what, at least one a week, like this in this format, right?
At least.
Try to do one of these a week. And as always, guys, check down the description if you want to get part of join the conversation, be part of the discussion. The Discord link will be in the description of this video. So until next time, think about what we've talked about. Read your Bible, and y'all be safe. Be careful out there. We'll see you next time. God bless y'all.